Okay, guys, until we have everybody, hello and welcome to MWFpress first video conference. Today we're going to discuss about the recent letter of the Iranian leader to the youth of Europe and North America. I'm sure you all have read the letter. We want to analyze the impacts and effects of this letter on the world. Okay, I'm going to introduce the guests one by one, and we'll ask you about your opinion on the letter. Okay, first of all, I want to introduce my boss and the manager of MWFpress, Mohammad Nusrati. Is a very knowledgeable and active person, and is here to manage the session. He will speak Farsi, and I will translate his speech for you. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Nusrati.
Hello everyone.
Hello.
سایت جبهه جهانی مستضعفین سایتی است که به مدت 2 سال در حوزه ارتباطات بین‌الملل مشغول فعالیت است. فاطیما.
Okay, MWFpress have been active on international issues for 2 years. Okay.
در این سایت ما فعالیت‌های هایی که در اقصانعات جهان رویکردهای ضد امپریالیستی و ضد استکباری دارند رو پوشش میدهیم.
In this site, we cover the news of the NGOs, anti-imperialist and NGOs in the world, and we work with the people, not the organizations and the governments.
ما در این 2 سال تلاش کردیم که با فعالان NGO ها، مدیران NGO ها در کشورهای مختلف آشنا بشیم و ارتباط گیری کنیم.
We try to connect to the managers of the NGOs in the world.
و تلاشمون بر این بودی که نشون بدیم در سرتاسر جهان مردم علیه نظام سلطه صهیونیستی و آمریکایی که وجود داره بیدار شدن و خواهان مبارزه و نقد این سیستم هست.
Okay, we want to show that the people all over the world are awake and want to fight against the imperialists of Israel and America.
و تلاشمون بر این است که در آینده بتونه این سایت به عنوان یک مرجع برای فعالیت‌های مردمی ضد استکباری شناخته بشه.
And we try to make our website to be a resource for the anti-imperialist and anti-Zionist activities in the world.
ممنون.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Next person we are expecting to have, but he's still missing the call, is Tim Anderson, university professor and a great activist that we have the honor of having him here. I'm trying to connect him to the call, but I missed him. I don't know where to find
Ask him if he ask him, Fatima, if he can just call the audio button. Press the audio button and he will join the conference.
Okay.
Because you can add him, but you cannot call him.
Oh, okay. So let me introduce Tim Wright. Are you there, Tim?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Welcome. I'm so glad to have you here. Could you please turn on your video?
Yes.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Tim, you are a convert.
Yes.
As a new Muslim, or as you new Muslims say, you are a revert, implying that you are returned to what you've always meant to be, a Muslim. Please give us some more information about you and your activities.
Well, I'm 35 years old. I was raised as a Zionist Christian, and all of my family are still Christian. Some of them were pro-Israel, but I was actually anti-Israel before I reverted to Islam. Now, some of my family are actually, due to my activism and the information that I provide to just not my Facebook audience, but to just in general in my general life about Israel and the crimes of Israel, and with America's blessing, they have actually turned their views. Their views have switched from pro-Israel to, I wouldn't say anti-Israel, but they're waking up, for lack of a better word or a better phrase. But I try to let's see, what am I looking to say here? After I reverted to Islam, my views on oppression, Israel, the imperialism of the American government have totally changed. I mean, I won't lie, I supported the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan until I realized what it was. And to be honest, I hated Muslims and I hated Islam after 9/11 up until probably 5 to 6 years ago. So if you would have asked me 10, 11 years ago, if you would have told me that I was going to be a Muslim, I would have told you that you were right. But as far as being like super knowledgeable about Islam, this will be my second year in April that I reverted to Islam.
That's cool.
I mean, I'm knowledgeable about Islam, but I'm not to the point where I want to be. But that's pretty much all about me. I'm currently unemployed, so all I do is study Islam. I study the America's imperialism, Israeli imperialism, British imperialism, and I try to be very active with being an anti-imperialist.
Right.
Got me sweating.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to the next person. Tarek Sarad, Lebanese activist and the manager of Palestine News. I'm so glad you managed to join us despite being very busy on your thesis. Please give us some more information about yourself.
So I'm so glad also to at least see you guys, hear you, and we are here to learn from each other.
Thank you.
First of
Could
all,
you please
I'm not
turn
just...
on your video?
Okay, a
Thank
moment. Okay. So you see me now?
Not
Yes.
yet.
Okay, not yet.
Yes,
So you will see
yes,
me soon.
I can see you. Okay.
Okay, so first of all, I'm not just Lebanese, I'm Lebanese Palestinian. My mother is Lebanese, my father is Palestinian. I was born in Lebanon, raised up in Lebanon, studied in Lebanon. Near also, my mother comes from a city that is near Palestine. I used to see Palestine, but I was not able to go there. So just I had the ability just to see my land without having the ability to visit my land or visit my people. Yeah, I'm studying actually something like far from politics. I'm studying business administration and tourism as well in Switzerland. And I'm living now in Switzerland.
Yes.
I have a website called Palestine News. Some of you know, some don't. And I have actually groups and a lot of pages that I'm really active on.
Yes.
Yeah, to shed the light on the Zionist acts and oppression against the Palestinian people and Lebanon, and now in Syria what's happening as well.
Yeah, that's great.
That's
Okay,
me
could
in a
you
brief.
please okay, could you please tell us about your opinion about the letter of the
Okay.
Iranian leader?
First of all, I'm not in a place to evaluate. I told you, Fatima, before.
Yeah.
I'm not in a place to evaluate the letter from the leader. But it's also, I can say, it's a first point for us in order to get something and start from, because the letter was really made in a great way from a great person for the European youth in order to wake them up at least from what is going on. And I think it's or not just Muslims, any activists all over the world to take this letter and spread it in a good way, in the right way that the leader wants us to spread it, because some websites, some media, some televisions already talked about it, but I don't think that when some youth in Europe or in America see a letter from the leader of Iran, they are not interested at least to read it. So it's our job now to spread this letter.
Yes, that's great. Thank you very much.
Thank
Tim
you.
Wright, I forgot to ask you about this letter. What's your opinion about this letter?
Well, as Torek said, I'm not in the position to evaluate the letter that the great leader wrote. However, I will say I think that the letter was written perfectly, and it included so many recommendations that actually need to be heeded by the youth of Europe and the youth of America. The youth are so influenceable, and we're actually currently seeing this all over Europe and all over America, how easily incorrigible they are. They're, instead of getting knowledge of Islam from the authentic and actual sources, they're using second and third or fourth hand sources that are being twisted and manipulated. So in the sense of the letter was absolutely perfect. I mean, the Ayatollah Khamenei he was spot on when he wrote the letter. And I mean, I really can't evaluate it as anything but perfect because of the way it was written and the information he included, the questions he asked. It was perfect.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And thank you.
Tim Anderson, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Fatima. Can you hear me?
Okay, yes, I can hear you. Tim Anderson, university professor. I'm so glad. It's a big honor for us to have you here, and it's great to have your voice and to see you. Please tell us about yourself and a brief comment on the leader's letter.
Well, thank you for inviting me, Fatima. It's an honor to be talking to you now.
Thank you.
I'm an activist and an academic in political economy at the University of Sydney in Australia. And in addition, I've been involved with a group called Hands Off Syria during the dirty war on Syria for the last 4 years. So I've been studying the region more, I suppose, because of the attacks on the region in recent years. As to the letter from the Imam, it's a very decent letter with a lot of important questions. Some of them, it seems to me, are more, it's a call for reflection, of course, but some of those questions that are raised are very simple, and some of them are much deeper, require a lot more study. For example, to talk about, reading Islam from the original sources and to reflect on what is going on in terms of the image of Islam without resentment and prejudice. They are all these exhortations, but there are some historical reflections that are called for there that are much deeper. For example, the